Have you ever been in a season of your life where things are not going the way you planned? Like at all? I'm in that season right now. And all I'm thinking is, God, this is not what I asked for. This is not the plan we talked about. Have you ever felt like that? Like you're doing everything right. You're praying, you're reading your Bible, you're showing up and trying your best and doing all that you know to do. But somehow life is going in a complete opposite direction. Yeah, that feeling. And it's so uncomfortable. Let's talk about it. We all have a plan for our lives, right? Well, I'm assuming we do, and you're not just out here winging it, right? You do have a plan, yeah? We have a vision, we have a timeline. We know how we want things to go. You're like, okay, by this time, my life should look like this. Or by this time, I'm supposed to be here. And then suddenly, life just does its own thing. Now you're on a path you didn't choose, dealing with things you didn't expect. And you're sitting there wondering, did I mess something up? Like, what did I do wrong along the way? Is this a part of God's plan? And that uncertainty, it's uneasy. It doesn't put you in a, secure, comfortable spot. So I'm this kind of person, right? I like to plan every area of my life because, I want a bit of control. It makes me feel safe. But recently, I received some news and it humbled me real quick. When I tell you I was in shock, I was in denial, and I felt so confused. In my mind, all I could think about was, God, this is not what I asked for. What are you doing? Why now? Why at this stage of my life? Like, I don't get it. Make me understand this. And I was like, okay, is this your will for my life? Because if it is, can you just cancel it and stick to my plan? Right? Because I was just so confused. Like things just took a complete turn. And it's going to change the entire trajectory of my life. So I was just questioning God because I didn't understand what's going on. I mean, now I'm in a, different headspace about it, but in that moment and in that period of time, I was just questioning God because I just couldn't understand what it is that He was doing. I still don't. And I prayed and I prayed and I prayed. And I came to the realization that just because something isn't going my way doesn't mean it's not going God's way. Now let that sink in for a bit. Because sometimes we think if it's not going the way I planned it, it means that something is wrong. But what if nothing's wrong? What if it's working out exactly how it's supposed to? Just not how you expected. This is something I had to check myself on. A lot of us say we trust God, but if we're being real, we still want control. We want God's blessing, God's plan, God's favor upon our lives, but we want it to look how we imagined it. So it's like we want the outcome, but we don't want the process. And a trust in God's plan requires surrender. Not halfway or when it's convenient for you, but we have to fully surrender. And that's the hard part, because when you fully surrender and let go of control, it's like you're stepping into the unknown, right? And no one likes the unknown. It's not a comfortable place to be in, right? It's like you have to put your trust in this higher being, knowing that they're going to work everything out for your good, not knowing what their plans are or what the future may look like, because it's no longer in your control. So then the question becomes, okay, if I'm trusting God and trusting His plan and His will for my life, what does that actually look like? What do I actually do in that process? You keep praying, let go of the outcomes, and keep trusting even when you don't understand. That's what I had to learn, and that's what I actually am doing in this season of my life. And I'm trusting and believing that God is actually building me into the woman who can actually sustain the life that I asked for. So I basically just stopped stressing over every little detail and started to trust God's plan over my own. And not because I have everything figured out, because I don't. And I still don't understand what He's doing in this season of my life. But because it gives me a sense of peace. Peace in knowing that God is the author and finisher of my faith, and knowing that His plans are for me to prosper and to give me hope and a future. So I'm believing in that and I'm holding on to that. So I want to leave you with this. You may not understand what God is doing right now in your life, but trust and believe that He's working everything out for your good. If any of this resonated with you, I want you to comment below. I trust God's plan. Let's declare that together. And if you're on this journey of becoming your best self, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and don't be selfish. Share it with your friends and family, okay? I'll see you in the next video. Peace and blessings. Bye.